Hello, everyone. Hi, Isla. How are you?
Hi, good, and you?
Good, thanks. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. I am flying solo tonight without AJ, so bear with me as I make sure I get everybody's names written down for prizes later. I'm going to say hello to everybody in 1 second. I'm just making sure I have everyone's stuff. Hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful week so far. So tonight I'm trying to mix things up a little bit. So obviously we have Isla from NCL here. And what we are trying to do is when we have guests on now, I'm trying to be slightly more organized. So it's not just chaos when we have a live stream. So we are going to, I have a little bit of an agenda. It was an aggressive agenda that I sent to Isla, but I'm going to, we'll keep it light as I'm trying to keep up here with everybody who I have to add to the wheel. So we got, I'll say hi to everybody in a second. Dale Lakes. If you are new here, just even if you don't want to chat in the chat, just say hello, just to get your name out there, because we add everybody to the wheel. At the end of the show, we give away coffee, we give away T-shirts. So it is a good time for all. So make sure you say hello, and we'll get you up on the wheel. Hopefully I'll get you up on the wheel. It's a struggle city right now. So hello to Aaron Strains, Fred and Lisa. We got Eric Maxey here. Alex is here, excited to go on Escape. Al Galloway. We have Roll Tide, Bob Bostic, Charlie, hello. Deb Stein, hello. Rob Harvey. JC getting ready for his Bermuda cruise in just 3 days. Felicia's here. Joe is here. Hello, hello. Laura Tucker. Dale Lakes from Missouri. We got Tony C. We have Jay Myers. Josh Warner is here. Of course, the one day AJ is not here, and it's a crazy amount of people who are going up on the wheel. Gray Gooser is here. How are you doing? We got Roger Sproul. Roger. Tim S. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it tonight. I swear, everyone, I'm going to do it. Two old farts, Rick K. and Ryan. Two old farts. All right, so we're going to kick things off. We have Isla here from NCL. We have a lot of exciting things to talk about. This was very, very good timing because there's a ton of fun things going on with NCL. Also, ironically, my next 5 cruises are on NCL.
Ooh.
So that's crazy. I just got off of Prima a week and a half ago. Feels like it was 2 months ago because I did the World America inaugural after that. So that was a blur. And then I was on another ship for a tour. So it seems like I've been on cruise ships. I forget that I was on Prima. So first up, Isla, let's talk to you for a little bit. Let's get a little bit of a background since you haven't been on for a little while. Give us a quick rundown, like what got you into cruising? How long have you been with NCL, the whole 9 yards?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course.
So about myself, it's actually kind of funny how I got in the cruising industry because I grew up in a country where there's no ocean. So I'm born and raised in Switzerland. And I actually used to work on the cruise ship back in Europe. It was a German cruise ship, and that's kind of how I got fascinated with the cruising industry. And then I worked for a tour operator in Switzerland in the cruise department, and then I got transferred over to Miami, and that's how I kind of ended up at the end with NCL. So I've been with NCL for probably around 8 years. But even before I worked for NCL, NCL has always been my go-to cruise line just because it's the best fit for me. I've tried many cruise lines, but I always circle back to NCL just because of what we offer and like how it makes me feel when I'm on the ship. So definitely.
Yeah, it's really funny. I said in one of my videos this week, I go, obviously I'm on all different cruise lines and all different ships and everything. And I said, there's something funny when I go on NCL. NCL is like the cruise line that I kind of grew up with, right? It's when I was in my 20s and I started to go on cruises, I started with NCL. So my first ship that I went on as an adult was like Gem and then Jewel. And then I started going on, I was on Breakaway in the inaugural season. And it was like a ship that blew my mind. And it was still to this day when I get on an NCL ship, specifically the Breakaway Plus class, right? Because Prima is very vastly different. But when I get on those ships, I just feel like I'm at home. It's like a weird thing for me. It's like it just feels right for some reason. It's not to say that I don't, like, obviously we talk about it on here all the time. There's things that I love about all of the different cruise lines and all the different ships. But for some reason, I agree with you. It's just like I get on Norwegian, everything just feels right. So do you have, Isla, what is your favorite ship? You could say Aqua if it's Aqua right now, but what is your yeah.
Well, I mean, Aqua is definitely one of my favorite ships now, but like one of my all-time favorites is the Pride of America in Hawaii. Just, I don't know, there's something unique about that ship. It's totally not the same like any of the other ships that we have. But I love her. Like she has a lot of great outdoor areas, which all of our other ships don't have, and a lot of great spots, and just the perfect ship for Hawaii. And then I would say the next one after that would be probably like the Breakaway Plus class, like the Encore, Bliss, Joy, Escape. And of course now the Aqua, I mean, that blew my mind.
That's awesome.
That ship is amazing.
Yeah, mine is Encore at the moment. Mine is Encore for sure. I don't know why. It's funny because it used to be Bliss. I really liked Bliss. And then I went on Encore and I really liked something it was just like slightly different. But I really, really enjoy Encore. And then I think some of them, it's just I've been on them a lot. So I've been on Escape 3 times. Like you start feeling like, okay, well, I've been on this ship so many times. So it starts being like, okay, I get it. One thing I do want to bring up, Isla, before we get into and I'm sure people are going to have a ton of questions later and everything. So everybody, if you have questions, you could start firing questions. I'm going to let them queue up a little bit as we go through the agenda here, and then we'll definitely answer a bunch of questions. So one thing I wanted to bring up that I really loved was when we were on Prima 2 weeks ago. So I have a thing that I loved and a thing that I didn't love. So the thing that I didn't love was that Price is Right was sold out before we got on the ship, and we couldn't go to Price is Right, which was really sad because it's like such a highlight of the ship, and it's something that I think is so unique and fun. And I found it was really sad that you couldn't, we literally stepped on the ship, and I've status, so we got on the ship quickly. And we were on the ship. We were like the first people on the ship. We walked on, hit the kiosk, and it was all standing room only. Or it was like standby line only, which was disappointing. But the thing that we loved was that they did the Fleetwood Mac Rumor Show in the theater, which was amazing because it's on the other, everybody in here knows because I complain about it all the time. That Fleetwood Mac Rumor Show is so good. And if you're on Escape, which I'm going to be on in a few months, if you're on Escape, it's literally like a 2-hour wait. You have to get in line 2 hours before the show to get into Rumors. So that was the thing I loved about Prima, was that they did it in theater, and it was amazing. So, all right. So let's get into, since we started talking about Aqua, let's get into Aqua. So I was on Prima, and obviously Viva is pretty much Prima, right? So because I saw you were on Aqua. I saw all the fun videos and everything about Aqua. So what is different on Aqua from Prima and Viva?
Honestly, I think, I don't want to say more. Yeah, to me, that ship is more vibrant, not just the colors and everything, but the colors, the outside. I mean, just the hull work, it just gets to you. When you see that ship, it's just beautiful. And then I saw it in when we did the inaugural in New York, it was kind of blah weather. So it wasn't, it was a great event, but the weather wasn't too great. But then we had an event in Miami, and it was just perfect. And the water, the blue water, and then the ship. But once you step on the ship, it's just everything on the ship itself. So just like we have the Breakaway Plus class, so the Aqua and then the Luna next year, those are our Prima Plus class ships. So basically they're the same kind of layout as the Prima and Viva, but they're bigger. So they're about 10% bigger than the other two ships. So that's why they're the Prima Plus class. And we really enhance like the public areas, the space, because on the Prima and the Viva, the venues are rather small, and then the outdoor seating areas, there's not too much available. So we really made sure that like even the Ocean Boulevard, like on deck 8, that's wider now, that there's more space, more seating area, and then the venues are bigger too. And then we also, like we have new restaurants, for example, Suko Thai, which is our first Thai restaurant, which was incredible. Well, the first bite I had burnt my tongue because, of course, I had to bite the red hot pepper, which you're not supposed to, and I didn't see it, but it was delicious. And then Indulge, which is our food hall. It has some new stations. One of them, which is the Plantery, which is all plant-based food. The menu was incredible. There's a lot of other items that you can order from and restaurant options. And then the shows too. So we have Revolution, which is basically a celebration of Prince, and that was spectacular. So that was a really great show, and it's kind of engaging the crowd too, because if you've been on the Prima or the Viva, you see like this the theater usually has the stadium seating, which we can retract. So during that show, the Prince show, like the seating in the front is retracted, so there's like a dance floor open on the bottom. So they invite the people to come up there and be up close and personal, and then the cast comes down, and it's just a really cool show. But yeah, like when it comes to the ship, it's just, oh, the cabins. Oh my God, the cabins. I've never been in a balcony cabin where I had so much space in there. Just like, like how you walk in, now we have the pull-out couch. And then, the couch, when it's there, the space that you have in front of the couch, between the couch and the wall, I mean, basically you could be doing a workout or yoga in front of it because there's so much space. So they're really spacious. The bathrooms are incredible. It's just like, it has such an upscale feeling to it. It's just a beautiful ship, really. I'm excited. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Prima at first because I guess I'm just used to, like the old Norwegian Cruise Line fleet and how everything is just straightforward and, just very basic. You just walk straight ahead and there's everything, you turn around. But then when the Prima came, I got totally lost because I'm a lost cause when it comes to, directions. Like I get lost when I go get gas. I don't remember which way I came from. So now imagine me on the Prima or the Viva. Like at first I'm like, okay, no, there's a dead end. Now we have to go down to go across. And then there's something here. I'm like, oh. But now and then I started, so it wasn't love at first sight with the Prima. So I warmed up to her. But like when I saw the Aqua, I'm like, wow. Now that's wow.
I'm excited. I'll be on Aqua in August. And I was on Prima for one of the inaugurals where we went. It was like the 4-day Canada, New England one when we did that. And when I got off that ship, I was like, this is not like, I feel the same way you did, right? I was like, this is not my NCL. This is not what I was used to. It was just, things were quirky and weird. Like you said, when you go down to like, when you pass like Nama and Hasuki there, and then you like dead end at Hudson's and you're like, all right, yeah, now I'm stuck. Now I have to like turn around and go back through everything. But this time around on Prima, there was still, like it's still quirky and weird, but it definitely warmed up. I definitely warmed up to it more this time. I agree with you. The venues I still feel like the venues were too small on Prima for sure. Like Sid Norman's is so small. It's like that venue, you're like, oh my God, there's like, it seats like 30 people. But yeah, I did warm up to it and it was great. The food was great. The Indulge food hall which I loved the first time. I loved Indulge, which was awesome. And the entertainment was great. The food was great. It was really nice. And I will say this time I stayed in a studio, and the studio cabins on Prima are spectacular. They did such a nice job of upgrading from like the ones on the Prima Plat where it looks like you're in a spaceship, which was kind of cool at the time. But the sliding, you know, the older studio cabins where you have the sliding thing that comes in front of your desk, it like breaks off, falls off all the time. And they did such a good job on Prima of making that like way more modular and beautiful. I loved it. We had a great time on Prima. There's still quirky things. Like I still prefer on like the Breakaway Plus class. But there were things that were really beautiful about it, and the theater is spectacular. Even doing like the glow party and stuff in there is so much fun. It's so nice. All right, so we do have some questions. We'll do the questions, and then we'll get back into my aggressive agenda. So let's see what we got here. So Jay Meyer said, Breakaway is my favorite till I go on the mega ones. Then Greg Gooser said, I've heard that NCL is starting to enforce the no holding beach chairs rules. Is this true? So there is a rumor that this is true. I don't know if you've heard anything about this, about them enforcing the 30 minutes. If you're gone for 30 minutes, they take your stuff off the chairs.
I mean, they should be. That's what I've been hearing too. Because I mean, there's just people just hoovering all over and just occupying the chairs, and the same with the observation lounge too. So they should be reinforcing that.
I agree. I think that's great. It's funny, you don't think about it for the observation lounge until you go someplace like Alaska, and you're like, oh yeah, people just throw their stuff there, and then they try to sit there. They save it all day. It's crazy. Ryan said, recently went from Breakaway to my favorite ship being Escape. Just wish it had a shakers. Yeah, it's funny. Like I like the fact that even on the Breakaway Getaway and all the like Breakaway Plus class ships, I like that there's little quirky things, especially with Joy. Like Joy being so weird because it was built for Asia, and you know, it's super quirky. But I like that some of them have, you know, like some of them have the ice room, some of them don't have the ice room, some of them have, you know, different things. But I love that. I think that's great, Ryan. Rick said, hello, Isla. We have cruised on MSC, Royal, and Carnival. In your opinion, why should we try NCL? What differentiates NCL?
Wow. Wow, the other don't even compare with us. Please, Rick. I'm just kidding. Why? Because I just think it's very hard to, like I said, it's very hard to explain. Like it's a feeling that you get once you get on our ships, and I would say we're a bit more more upscale than some of the cruise lines that you mentioned, and then also, I mean, I've been on Royal. Like there's nothing wrong with Royal, but I just feel like we have so much more to offer. Food quality, the food options, the restaurants, the service. And then also with some, and I've never been on MSC, I've just gotten feedback. So that's definitely one that I want to try. But people that have cruised with Royal and MSC, for example, and they've cruised with NCL, they love NCL over those two. And the other thing is too, like when you're on an NCL ship, honestly, and that's one thing that there's actually two things that always drew me to NCL. First of all, you can do whatever you want at whatever time you want because we have the freestyle cruising. So we don't have set dining times. It's whatever you want to do at whatever time. We have 24-hour dining options. We don't have, we don't reinforce formal nights or anything. It's really up to your leisure and whatever you want to do and what makes you feel comfortable or what you feel like doing at that point. And the other thing is too, like when I walk around on an NCL ship, I always feel like I'm still on a cruise ship. Like I have that cruise ship feeling where with some of the other cruise lines, especially on the bigger ships, I sometimes feel like I'm locked in a shopping mall for an entire week because I do not see any daylight. I literally have to go up to like the pool deck to see the ocean or see, just see if it's day or night. And to me, it takes away from the cruising experience because I go on a cruise ship because I want to feel like I'm on a cruise ship. I want to have that cruise ship experience, that feel. And I think we actually do a really, really great job when it comes to also, even on the bigger ship where we have 4,000 passengers, with the food quality and the service.
Yeah, I think that's great. Rick, I agree. I think like the difference to me, and you guys know I love everybody, right? Like I go on all the different cruise. Obviously, I was on, within the last 10 days, I was on MSC, Royal, and NCL. So, and Carnival is a completely different animal. So we'll like Carnival's separate from everything else. But yeah, the biggest differentiators I think are the kind of freestyle thing, right? Norwegian created and invented the freestyle concept of and I was doing my food video today for Prima. There's no set times. You just show up whenever you're ready for dinner. If there's a little bit of a wait, they'll give you a little beeper and they'll let you know, hey, it's going to be this time. And if you walk around, one of the cool things on NCL, as you go around the ship, there's little, video boards and kiosks everywhere. And you can click on the kiosks and it'll show you how busy a specific restaurant is. So you can go up and see like, oh, there's a lot of room now, or it's empty. Or if you want to go to the local, you have the local and you can go over there and you'll see it's not too crowded. And I agree. The other biggest thing when I talk to people about NCL is on the waterfront, on the Breakaway and Breakaway Plus class ships, which they pretty much pioneered that concept. And now with Ocean Boulevard on Prima and those, it's spectacular to be able to go out there and walk around the entire ship on Deck 8 and see the restaurants and all the different options. And it's awesome. And even on the newer ships on Prima, like we ate at Palomar, and Palomar has an indoor and outdoor space for dinner, and it is spectacular. And yeah, the specialty dining, right? We talked about it. We did a 5-day cruise to Bermuda, and we didn't have nearly enough time to try all the specialty dining. There's so many different options. So, and I think, and this is something I've noticed over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, it is a slightly more upscale experience than if you're on, specifically, obviously Carnival. But it's a little more, how could it not? It's slightly more upscale than Royal as well. You will see, in my experience, far less kids on a per sailing basis than you do on Royal. Just something to think about. So Charlie said, I hear Sid Norman's is great, but I'll never know because I'm not waiting an hour for a line. So Charlie, the good thing is, it looks like on some of the ships, they're doing the Fleetwood Mac show in the theater, which is great, which we experienced on Prima, which if anyone has not gotten a chance to see, as much as I complain about NCL rolling back some of the Broadway shows, because I love those, the Fleetwood Mac show and just the Sid Norman's concept in general, all of the shows in Sid Norman's are great. The Rock the Prom show, all the stuff they do in there is awesome. We saw the same cast in Rumors on Escape and on Prima, and that cast is phenomenal. It was at least the same two front people. There are a couple, they're married. But that show, if you haven't seen it, is the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album front to back. And they tell stories about the whole album in between each song. And it's one of the best shows you will see on a cruise ship. And if you're going on Escape, not only are you going to get to see Rumors, you're going to see Choir of Man, which is my favorite show on any cruise ship. It's so great. Alex said, any chance of including coffee with more at sea? You can get regular coffee, Alex. Coffee is always included. You just can't get Starbucks. So Starbucks is separate. You can do a Starbucks package now. It used to be with free at sea plus, but not anymore. It's gone. Laura said, loyal NCL customer, 13 cruises, love the freestyle vibe and outdoor spaces, like the Breakaway Plus class ships on Joy next February. You're going to have a great time on Joy.
Oh, nice, yes.
It's awesome. Roll Tide said, my only NCL cruise was on the Getaway in the Greek Isles. It was amazing. I haven't had any interest until Aqua and Luna piqued my interest. Yep. Well, I will be on Aqua in just a few months, and you will get all the details about it. Laura's going on Aqua next June. First time on NCL. Looking forward to it. That is awesome. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm still adding names to the wheel. Step in the right direction. Looking forward to cruising in Aqua or Luna. That's awesome. Michael said, being able to go to Oceans or local at 3 a.m. and getting good food is what sets NCL apart, in my opinion. Every other cruise line acts like after 9 9 p.m. Nobody wants to eat anything but pizza. It's so true. It's so true. I will say on Prima, I'm old school. I love Oceans. Oceans is like one of my favorite concepts. It's like the pub atmosphere. I do like the local on like the newer ships is a little sterile to me. Like I wish it was a little more Oceans, but the local on the Prima and Prima Plus class ships, it's so cool. There's two sides to it. It's awesome. Charlie said NCL is the most ocean focused of the major cruise line, best outdoor seating. Totally agree with that. Ryan said, wasn't too excited after more at sea. Still not a fan. Drink menus are standardized at non-specialty bars with little exceptions serve the masses. Miss Premium Plus. Look, I miss Premium Plus too. But the more at sea has, in my opinion, it's fine. It's still a way better value over the Royal drink package for sure. So look, it's something. I know not everybody loves it. It's not perfect for sure. Roll Tide said NCL Ocean Boulevard is awesome. Yes, it is. Eric said, spent a month on the Prima last November. In 38 days, I cruise on the Aqua to the Caribbean. How do I cruise on a ship without Hudson's now? The most amazing MDR ever. Yeah, if you haven't been on Prima or any of the newer ships, Hudson's is beautiful. It's the whole back of the ship, floor-to-ceiling windows. It doesn't look like a main dining room. It looks like a fancy, fancy restaurant. So, yeah, for sure. Rick said, very informative. I like the freestyle idea. There you go. It's awesome. All right, let's get into the next thing because I see people asking about it. Next up, we're going to talk about, I did a whole video on this yesterday. Great Stirrup Cay is finally getting a pier, thank God, and a bunch of other upgrades. So I will comment. I haven't been to Great Stirrup Cay in 3 years. We've missed it every time I've been on the ship because of the weather. But Isla, do you want to go over the new upgrades coming for?
So yes, since you haven't been there in 3 years, Great Stirrup Cay is just fabulous. I was just there about a month ago on the Joy, and it's just spectacular. We have Silver Cove, which is our cabana, well, not cabana, like the suite area where you can rent, like we have like 1-bedroom suites, 2-bedroom suites, literally. They're nicer than my apartment. They're amazing. And the Silver Cove area is just spectacular. So you can only stay there if you rented one of the suites. So it's, it's not crowded at all. It's a beautiful area. You have the champagne bar, and then you also have an infinity pool in the back. And then so now the upgrades that we're going to do, we're finally getting a pier, which is exciting because it took me, I think, 10 attempts for the first time to see the Great Stirrup Cay, 10 attempts. But then also, like, every time I tried was like in January or the beginning of, the year. So
yeah,
seas are kind of rough getting to the Bahamas, especially when you tender. So with the pier, we're going to be able to dock there every single time. It's going to accommodate 2 ships. So it's coming by the end of this year. And with it, we're also going to have a new pool area. It's going to be an oversized heated pool with a swim up bar. There's also going to be a kids splash area with fountains. And then we're also going to actually bring what we have on the ships right now, Vibes Beach Club. We're going to bring that onto the island as well. So there's going to be a Vibes Beach Club on the island for our clients that want that, adults only experience, not just on the ship, but also on the island. So we're going to incorporate that as well. And then the Horizon Park, which I've seen on the Bliss. I haven't seen it on the Breakaway yet because the Breakaway just was refurbished. But the Horizon Park basically is like an outdoorsy area. It's kind of like a lawn setup with like lawn games for the family to hang out, like with bean bags. It's a cool area. So we're going to bring that to the island as well. So there's a lot of great stuff coming our way, and we're super excited, especially for the pier.
Yeah. For the Vibe Beach Club, is that going to be a continuation of the ship? Like if you pay for it on the ship, do you get it, or is it a separate?
Honestly, I was trying to answer the question before I hopped on the call because I had the same question, and I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
So I do not have an answer to that as of yet.
That's okay. No problem. Yeah, I'm super excited about it because there's so many times where we've gotten super close and I'm like, oh God, I can't believe we're not going there again. We missed it again. We did the Silver Cove. So coming out of the pandemic, I did the Haven on Escape. And we rented one of the cabanas. It was so cheap coming out of the pandemic. It was awesome. And those cabanas are amazing. They're really great. You have like your own little butler that comes in. You have like a little shower. You have a full bathroom. It's so nice if you're spending the day out in there. It's really great. All right, let's get some questions here. Greg Grooser said, can you tell us anything about the next phase and ships after? So we have Prima, you have Viva, you have Aqua coming out now, and Luna. Both of those are going to be 10% bigger than Prima and Viva. So what is the next? Do you have any info on the next class after that?
Yeah, but it's classified. No, I mean, we have been seeing some of the ideas that they have or that they're toying with, but nothing has really been confirmed, so I can't really talk about that. But we do have about 5 other ships in the making, so there's a lot more coming. But I'm not sure yet, like if it's going to fall in line with the Prima Plus class or a different class. So we don't have that information yet.
No worries, that's fair. Tony said, never been on NCL House of Pizza. So NCL doesn't have like a pizza place like Carnival or like Royal has Sorrento's. So they don't have a specific pizza place. Hello, Peanut. But they do have the local, which is open 24 hours. And you can get like pretzel bites. You can get nachos. You can get fish and chips. You can get desserts, a pub hot dog, a bunch of stuff. So don't sweat the pizza. In my opinion, the pizza, the only cruise lines that have really good pizza are Princess has really good pizza and MSC has very good pizza, but they're an Italian cruise line, so they better have.
I mean, if you really want pizza, we do have it at the Italian restaurants. We have La Cucina or Onda.
It's actually good. It's actually really good at those two. They have like a brick oven there. I forgot all about that. That's a great call there, Isla. Very good.
And Onda has really, really good pizza, actually.
I haven't tried the pizza at Onda. I've only tried it at La Cucina, so I'll have to try that. Just a quick reminder out there, everyone, if you are new to the live stream or you're just popping in, just say hello. You could say anything down in the chat there, and we will add you to the wheel. We're going to be giving away some prizes. We give away coffee every week from our sponsors, mainly coffee. And then we give away a T-shirt every week. So throw your name down there, and I will add you to the wheel here, which I'm doing right now. I'm adding some people. We got Brian S. Nurse Tara's here. Hi, Tara. How are you? Good to see you here. Tara said, I was on the Sun last year. The pizza was pretty good. There you go. So that's good. Kathy said they are going on Aqua in January. Lots of people are going on Aqua. That's great.
That's awesome.
Jimmy's been checking Aqua YouTube videos. Looks awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful ship. And again, like the cabin, like they're just very spacious. I mean, they're beautiful. We just rearranged stuff in the cabin, within the cabin to make it more spacious. We relocated the closet. So you don't, once you don't slam into the closet when you get off the bed, because sometimes they're so close. So now we just relocated stuff and it's just super cool.
That's awesome. So Roll Tide said, is Luna going to have the slide coaster or something different?
Hasn't been announced yet. They haven't made any announcements yet.
Denny B, hello. Alex said, John, add Tara to the list. I did. Tara's on the list. Don't worry. Denny B, hello. Jordan, hello. How are you? Black Broadway Lady, hello. Good to see you. Daniel McDonald, hello. How are you doing? We got Edward Clayton here. Hello, Edward. How are you?
Lots of people.
So many people. So many people.
That's awesome.
Denny B said, going on World America in June. Can't wait. Denny, I hope you have a great time. World America is huge. It is crazy. Good pizza there. So you can get good pizza on MSC. I will say real quick on the World America thing, talking about the rooms on Aqua, the rooms on World America are a little quirky. So when you go into the rooms, the closets are not traditionally where they are. They're by the bathroom, and the bathroom doors are a little weird. Just a little heads up there. Eric said the pizza Onda is amazing. The pizza at the buffet is mediocre at best. Yeah, look, pizza at the buffet is not, they're not putting their best foot forward there. So, it's buffet pizza, that's it. Tony Diaz, hello, how are you? Good to see you here. We got Tim McNeil. I'm adding to the wheel. Wheel is getting crazy.
Bigger and bigger.
I know the wheel's it's gonna be a wild ride on the wheel. Nicole said, I'm new to cruising. Can you tell me the difference of NCL? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, Nicole. So the biggest difference on NCL is freestyle. You could do anything you want to do at any time. There's no assigned dining times. You can eat wherever you'd like to eat. There's a ton of included food options. There are also a ton of specialty dining options if you do the More at Sea package, which gives you drinks, a little bit of Wi-Fi, and excursion credits. You can pick whatever you want, and it gives you some specialty dining. So if you're in a balcony cabin on a 7-day cruise, you're going to get 3 specialty dining options, so you can try a bunch of different food on your cruise, which is really, really great. And then just like every other cruise line, there's a ton of things during the day, like sushi demonstrations and trivia, how to run a floating hotel. The captain does a little thing. There's a ton of things going on. The other 2 things I want to bring up about NCL that I don't think people talk about enough, and I really love them, and I think this really lends to the feeling at home thing. One, they do a crew talent show. If you haven't gone to the crew talent show, it is amazing. On Prima, it was fantastic. So many fun people. We had the entire nation of the Philippines doing different acts. It was hilarious. But there was a bunch of singers, a bunch of dancers, a bunch of.
They're incredible. They're incredible.
It really is. And then the other great thing for me is at the end of that crew talent show, or in the last day, whatever your last day is, Norwegian does something that no one else does, and they have their own little fun song called "We Are a Family," right? So you come out, and the singers will come out with the cruise director. On ours, it was Arvin, and they do this great song, and then they invite a huge chunk of the staff to come out, like hundreds and hundreds of people to come out, and you get to see them come down the aisle. They love it so much. The people love it so much. It's their moment to shine, which is really great. They come on the stage with the hotel officers and everybody else. And I think that's something really unique that no other cruise line does, that I really appreciate. And it makes me feel, it makes you kind of feel like you're part of a family, which I think is really nice. So
gives me goosebumps every time.
Me too.
Every time.
Me Walk is here. He said, greetings, will be on Encore on Sunday. It's been 20 years since I've cruised. Any tips? Isla, do you have any tips for Encore?
Well, Encore, Choir of Man. Make sure you go see Choir of Man for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Please go see Choir of Man.
And if you like, if you're a beer drinker, definitely go check out the District Brew House, and then right across Food Republic. That's my favorite restaurant.
Me too. And go try out the race cars. Go drive some race cars. Josh Warner said, hoping to get Gem out of Miami booked this week. Very excited. It's the first boat we ever went on. Oh, it's so nice, Josh. That's awesome. Yeah, do it. It's awesome. Denny's in the yacht club on World America. Well, excuse us, Denny. I hope you enjoy your fancy schmancy yacht club experience. We were not VIP enough to even go look at the yacht club on our inaugural. Not that I'm complaining. We got invited to the inaugural, which was very nice. But we were not allowed in the yacht club. I think the first day, the owners of MSC were staying in the yacht club, so it was very limited experience in there. And that's where Drew Barrymore and NCL mortal enemy Orlando Bloom now was there, because now he's the spokesperson for World America. Katy Perry's the godmother of Prima, so we have a couple that are forced to fight over different cruise lines now.
Yeah,
so it's terrible.
We got the better one.
Yeah,
just kidding.
So funny. Alex said, where can I go on the ship to escape from the kids? Look, Alex, you're not going to see as many kids on NCL as you're going to see on other cruise lines, and there are a ton of great spaces to go. on NCL, like you can go to Spice H2O, which is a great space on the back of the ship up top. And you can do the Vibe Beach Club if you want. It's a little bit of an upgraded experience where you're going to get away from the kids there. But in my experience, you're not going to see even close to the amount of kids that you would normally see on a cruise on NCL. It's a little more refined, so it should be good. Amanda, happy hump day to you too. Hope you're doing well. Sandy said, new ships look amazing. We did our first NCL cruise for our honeymoon in 1991. Still have the ice sculptures and midnight buffet. That's awesome.
Wow.
That is great.
Yeah, I remember the midnight buffet or the chocoholic buffet that they had.
I remember that too.
You go through the galley and everything is just chocolate. You just walk through the whole thing and just fill up chocolate on your plate.
Yep. The chocolate fountains, everything.
Oh
My God. Greg Gooser said, I'll be on look at that. You guys are right on the Encore almost together. Kathy's doing the coffee cruise, and we're doing a group coffee cruise the week before, and then doing Aqua in Miami back to back. That's amazing.
Nice.
Robert said, I've only been on the Gem, and it's a decent small ship. It is. I love that class. It's like one of the first classes I was on. I was on Gem twice and Jewel twice. They're both great. Daniel said, if you do back-to-back on the same ship, do you get to keep the same room? It depends if you book the same room, Daniel. So you can certainly book it. It's a little, as a travel agent, it's a ton of fun trying to book the same room 2 weeks in a row. You're trying to get in and out quickly to get both of those cabins. But yes, you could certainly do that. If you do, it's quite simple. If you're doing a back-to-back, generally in my experience, all you have to do is let your room steward know that you are going to be in the same room. Nothing will change. They will just clean your room as they normally would. They'll do a little bit of a deeper cleaning. And then for the back-to-back, you're basically going to go to a special area. You'll get a letter like 2 days before disembarkation that lets you know that you're going to meet at a certain area in the morning of disembarkation. You basically walk off the ship. As soon as it's cleared, you walk right back on. And you're back at it. Kathy said NCL is our favorite. There you go. Tony Diaz, who's a huge Royal Caribbean fan, said, my wife is a big NCL fan. There you go, Tony. That's awesome. We got to convert you. We'll convert you. All right. Cheryl said, I'm getting grandfathered into the drink package. Originally got 2 specialty dining. Did NCL upgrade us to 3? So Cheryl, and Isla probably knows this better than I do, but I was under the impression that if you had free at sea, it will automatically bump you to more at sea, correct?
No. So if you have free at sea, then you're grandfathered into your dining package, but you're automatically upgraded to the new beverage package.
There you go. That's what I thought. Okay, good. Brian S. said, I want to quit my job and work for a cruise line. You can do that, Brian. You can apply. Tara said, is NCL going to come back to Baltimore? Isla, any news there?
Haven't heard yet. Hope so. Haven't heard yet, though.
But that is the perfect segue to our next little thing here, which obviously I am super excited about, and that is NCL is coming to Philadelphia.
Yes,
so April 16th of 2026, NCL will be in Philly. We are on the Jewel on that first voyage. If anybody would like to join us, please. We're also going to be setting up a few groups. One of the cool things we are doing is I reached out to the PR director of the Philadelphia Cruise Port, and he told me to go away. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, we are a travel agency in Philly. We're really interested. We love Norwegian. We're going to be doing a bunch of group stuff. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of, we're setting up a website for the Philly Cruise Port on our end as a travel agent. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of like tours for people of like Philly, any of our clients that are coming in. We're working with like a food tour group. We're going to be setting up fun little itineraries for people to see Philly and try all the different fun things since we love Philly, since we're here. And I was like, hey, we'd love to come do a tour of the port at some point and like talk to you, learn a lot more about it. And he was like, no. So that was it. He just sent me an email back and said, no, the port will open on April 16th. We'll see you then. So, so we're doing it anyway. It's fine. So we'll actually be down there on this Friday morning. We're heading down. We're going to do a little video at the port area, and we're going to be doing some Philadelphia content for the next year. So we will, if NCL's coming to Philly, you will have the Jewel here from April on, and then you will have the Pearl coming to Philly.
Correct.
Late in
November.
Yeah, I'm on the November 14th sailing of the Pearl. I got lots of.
I was going to say, you're doing it all.
Crazy. Right now I just got off of Prima. I'm on Getaway in June 29th. I'm on Aqua August 22nd. I'm on Escape September 19th. I'm on Joy October 20th.
Oh my God.
And then Jewel in April, Luna in May.
Wait, what is your latitude? So what, are you like Sapphire?
I am 1 day away from Sapphire. So wow. I'll get to Sapphire on Getaway, and then it's a long haul to Diamond from there. It takes a long time to get to Diamond. But yeah, I'll be Sapphire, which is cool. It gives me it gives me the dinner with the officers. So
ooh.
That's fun. That's a fun one.
Very nice.
So yeah, lots of that coming up. Ryan said, I love NCL. Wish Orchid Garden on the smaller ships was still complimentary. Paid $50 less. Oh, I didn't know that. That's an interesting tip, Ryan. I didn't know that Orchid Garden you had to pay for that now. But yeah, what are you going to do? So Nicole has an interesting question, and I saw something on Facebook about this the other day, Isla, that you may or may not have tagged, which is, does NCL status match? So they do not. They do not status match.
No, we do not. Apparently, there was some rumor that we are matching statuses, and we are not at this point. I mean, it's something that we're looking into, but perhaps like with our sister brands, but probably not with other cruise lines. It's just because we feel like a status is earned. So, like depending on who you built your status with, that's who you earned it with. But I know there was some rumors, but actually John Chernaski just posted something for the travel agent community. I think it was yesterday in the Facebook group, and that that was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree. I don't have any issues. So it's nice that MSC did status match for a while, but obviously that was to try to gain some, gain some market share in North America. I do like the cross-platform status matching. So like if you were going to be on Oceania or something like that, I think that's cool. Like Royal just decided to do with Celebrity as well. But yeah, I agree. It's too messy, and you earn that status. And as somebody who I've been on, 20 NCL cruises now, I like having that. I don't want everybody just to get bumped up to that status automatically.
No, it takes away from your experience as well.
I agree. Jimmy C said, no booking Josh on Gem unless they give us grandkids. There you go, Josh. Pressure's on. Pressure is on. Ryan said, change to Freestyle Daily and app is also strange. Format is confusing, and app pulls up a distorted version of the PDF. Can't star anything. Okay, I know you said you're not an IT guy. Ryan, I agree with you. So look, here's my criticism. All of the cruise line apps are not great. There's none that are spectacular. It's just not the best technology. But I will say the one of my biggest complaints across all cruise lines is I would love for there to be a little bit of information on what some of the things are, because sometimes you look at it and you're like, I have no idea what that is. And I do agree. It would be nice to be able to star stuff on the Freestyle on the app and have it remind you of things. So I do appreciate that. I agree with you. But the app is better. The new app is better. So.
And they're constantly enhancing it too. I know it was kind of a rough start, but they're updating it almost weekly. So every week I get updates with things that they've added. For example, I know that they have removed, for example, the deck plan, which was a big issue because before we had, you were able when you were on the ship to pull up the deck plan and know where to go. But now for a while, you couldn't do that with the new app. You literally had to walk to the elevator to look at, the map.
Yep.
But now they've added it back on. So now it's available again. So I know like we're also been getting feedback and they've been changing things back and forth. So they're constantly updating it.
That's good. Great to know. Robbie said NCL is the best. Just got off of Maravilia and booked the Aqua coming out of New York. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Cheryl said, if doing a back-to-back cruise, it doesn't affect how your key works. Are you asking a question to Cheryl? Or are you saying that it doesn't affect that? It's a good question. If you're asking that as a question, that's a good question. Let me know. Ryan said, thanks for joining us, Isla. Much appreciated. Cheryl said, how often do you change the main shows?
I mean, honestly, they stick around for a while. Of course, depending on how great they do. I mean, for example, Choir of Men started out in a smaller venue, and then it became so popular. So it's been on there for a few years now. And it's like a show that you can never get tired of. Like I've seen it myself probably like 10 times, and I would watch another 10 times because it's so great and so much fun. And every time it's like it gets better and better. So really depending on the show, like how well it does. But usually they're on there for quite a while.
Yeah, agreed. Matt Ryan, thank you so much for the donation. If anybody doesn't know, we are giving away a cruise in December. So we are giving away a cruise. No one has to donate, by the way. We're not asking for donations. I really appreciate it, Matt. We are just collecting our change anytime we go anywhere and we get money. We're keeping our change, and we are going to do that in December. And so the only thing we're asking for is on our website, there's a little thing where you can nominate somebody. So if you would like to nominate somebody for a cruise, we would like somebody who otherwise would not be able to go on a cruise. So Ash said, recently got off the Escape, had a great time. That is awesome.
Nice.
Very awesome.
Yeah, the Escape is a beautiful ship. That's a fun ship.
It really is. I love that ship. Alex said, hopefully NCL will match status among their brands soon. Yeah, it's hard too with their brands because it's not like Royal and Celebrity where it's kind of pretty similar. It's, it's a difference.
Well, it's Oceania and Region.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big difference. Roger is here. All right, Roger's here. So Roger said, can't we try NCL one of these days? Yes, Roger, you have to. You must. Brian S. said, any thoughts on Homeport in Norfolk? Not that I've heard of, right?
Nope.
I don't think so. Kathy said she's booked in Jewel on May 23rd, Escape July 6th, Gem September 12th, Star November 10th, and Aqua on the 18th. That is awesome. Yeah. Also, Cheryl said she loves your nails.
Oh, thank you. I did it for the Prince show.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great idea. So, Cheryl, if you're asking as a question, yes, you will get a new key card on your cruise. You don't use the same key card. So that's a great question. If you're doing a back-to-back, you will get a new key card. Kathy said, need menu changes. Yeah, the menus, look, a lot of people on my Prima cruise, I will say, it's my second cruise in a month where we talked to a bunch of people who were in the I generally don't get a lot of complaints about the regular menus because I do think they change enough that there's some changes. I did get a lot of, in my past two cruises, we've had a lot of complaints from people in the Haven complaining that the Haven menu doesn't change enough. So it's something, but they're eating fancier food than we are anyway. So they'll be fine. They'll live up there. Greg Gooster said, excited the breakaway is sailing out of Boston. Are there plans for larger ships to go to Boston? I know there are limited itineraries you can do from there.
Yeah, the breakaway is the first larger ship that we're sending out there, so that's exciting. So I'm sure, like depending on how the breakaway is going to do, if she does well, then we'll probably be sending bigger ships up there too, to Boston.
Cheryl said, don't forget thumbs up. Thanks, Cheryl. Alex said, hopefully Choir Man is on the ship till November. It is. You're good, Alex. No announcements on that.
I don't think Choir Man is going anywhere anytime soon.
That's a great too. Ash said, Escape was a great ship. Unfortunately, we couldn't make the weather cooperate for most days, so we got to know the crew much better. Look, sailors out there on the ocean. You never know what the weather's going to be. So, Alex said, Kathy, you're giving John a run for his time on NCL. Yeah, you sure are.
She did. She is.
Yeah. Ryan, don't worry about being overly critical. It's totally fine. Instead of viewing a PDF version of the daily and having more Zoom, old app lets you filter morning. Yeah, I'm sure that will be updated as things go on. And look, I like the fact that in my room on Primo, we got the little paper ones now. It's a smaller little paper one. I love those. So that's awesome. Cheryl said, my first NCL cruise on Joy in April. That is
Nice.
awesome.
That's a nice ship. It's very unique. And if you like the spa, the Joy actually has a phenomenal spa. They put in a brand new spa last year because the Joy never had thermal spa suites, and now it has the best one ever. So if you like spa, Cheryl, definitely go into check out the spa the first day so you can see it.
Jimmy said, can Vibe be pre-booked or do we have to wait? No, you can pre-book it. I highly recommend you better pre-book it because the Vibe sells out very quick. So
yes,
absolutely get that thing booked. Ryan said, also excited for such a big ship in Boston. Booked 2 sailings so far. Hope they find it profitable. Keep a big ship in Boston. Yep, sounds good. That's great. Great Gooster said, stick up for the Haven restaurant. They do sometimes offer daily specials too, and the food is excellent. I agree. The food is excellent in the Haven. It's very good. I can see how you would get a little bit bored of the menu. But you can also go to specialty dining. So get out a little bit and go to some specialty dining. Robbie asked, how are cruisers enjoying the Aqua Coaster?
Well, I can only tell you how I was enjoying the Aqua Coaster. I mean, so far it's been great. Like, well, I got to try it in New York, and it was like 30 something degree weather out there, and it is kind of water slide. So, but it was fun. It's actually really cool because it shoots you up, and then once you have simultaneously, there's 2 that are tubes or rafts, I guess, that that which I don't even know how to explain. The arm comes from the back and it just kind of shoots you up to the tube. And then once you're in there, it's just basically kind of like a water slide. But the best thing is, like, the more weight in one of those rafts, the better. So if you go solo, you're not going to pick up as much speed when you really go through the slide. So if you're going to double up, you pick up a lot of speed. So that's what we did. I first went solo, and my friend went solo too, and then we went both in the same one, and then we really picked up on speed. But it's really cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to try that. That's so fun.
Yeah, and then they also actually have the glow court as well, which is like an interactive, gaming area. Like you can do different kinds. You can do basketball, or like where you have to basically chase the light on the floor. So you kind of, like different squares light up, and you kind of have to like catch it. There's different kind of games that you can choose from, and then they have table games or miniature golf and everything. So they have the entire complex out there is just a lot of fun. And the miniature golf, they really, I think that's the nicest one I've seen on our ship so far. They have different destinations. So you have one that's Alaska. There's one like Japan. So different destinations, different countries and cities.
Oh, I love that. That's fun. Edward said 1 week till Getaway for our first back-to-back. That's awesome, Edward. I hope you guys have a great time. Getaway is a great ship. I will be on Getaway in June. We'll have a great time. Alex said, can you pre-book specialty dining before getting on the ship? If so, how many days beforehand? Yes, you can. And Alex, it depends on your status. So as a newbie, is it 30 days, Isla, before?
Yes.
30. So you can do 30 days before. If you have higher status, you can do it earlier. But don't get too caught up in that, Alex. When you can book it when you get on as well. I know for me, since I cruise most of the time solo, I generally don't pre-book it because the options are only for 2. Sometimes it's really weird. Sometimes you go on there, it's like 8. It'll pop up for 8. But my trick is, as soon as you get on the ship, so when you get on, whenever you get on for NCL, since you already have your key card, as soon as you get on the ship, slide into, go away from the crowds, find one of the kiosks by the elevators, put your card in, and just pull up all the specialty dining. You can make all your reservations there. They don't sell all of the reservations pre-cruise. So I've never had an issue on any cruise doing it the day up, so you should be good. You can also usually go to someplace on deck 6. Sometimes it's the comedy club, sometimes it's teppanyaki. There'll be a sign there where you can go and set up special dining, but there's usually a line there. So
Yeah, they'll do it for you, like you said. You can also do it on the app too. So once you get on the ship, you can also do it on the app, or the TV screens. And if you choose to do it on the screens in the hallways, just make sure that you go a few levels up, because everybody always gets stuck, and there's a huge lines like in the screens downstairs, because everybody thinks those are the only screens. So just go a couple floors up, because they are almost in every single level.
Yeah. Yep. Go to a floor where there's only cabins. That's the trick. Godfather's doing 4 weeks till MSC World Yacht Club. Good for you.
Nice.
Everybody's doing these yacht clubs. God Ryan said, I had to laugh at the fully uniformed officers doing the aqua coaster. Needed a laundry bag after that. That's hilarious. Denny B said, how does the Haven compare to the yacht club? Very similarly, Denny. In my experience, I've done both. They're both very, very, very similar. More similar than Royal's suite experience, which is a little more class heavy. Haven and Yacht Club are a very similar experience. You get a butler, you have your concierge there. They're very similar experiences, in my opinion. So if you've done one, you'll get a pretty good idea of that. It's also pretty cool on the Prima and Prima Plus class ships. You have a separate elevator, which is really nice for the Haven. So you don't have to dilly-dally around in front of the other elevators. Cheryl said, does NCL give specials on the first day, like specialty dining, get a bottle of wine and a spa percentage off? Yeah, I mean, all the cruise lines do certain things. It all depends on those specials, are all going to depend on how things sold pre-cruise, right? Just like any cruise line, if they didn't sell a ton of drink packages, they'll do different deals. But I always recommend, just if you're going to book something, book it ahead of time. You're never going to get as good a deal as you're going to get pre-cruise. Unless you're doing like the internet on like day 2 or day 3, and then it's going to be cheaper because you're not paying for the whole week. So, all right, let's wrap up here. We're getting, oh God, it's already 8 o'clock. All right. I just looked down. I was like, oh my God. On Excursion, I noticed they change different offers, so they keep adding new ones. No, generally speaking, once excursions are sold out, they're sold out.
Yeah.
There's no big change there. Jeff going on first ever cruise in July on the Aqua. That's
nice.
Awesome. Cheryl, they have the kiosks on all the newer ships for sure, Breakaway and Breakaway Plus. And they are by the elevators. They're on like the inside and outside of where the elevators are. And they are on almost all the floors. So Ash said, went to the Manhattan room towards the beginning of dinner seating one night. We were told that they were not seating a parties of 2. Is that common? I have not heard that. I'm not sure why that is. That's weird. Yeah, very, very strange. JC said, before show's over, I wanted to thank you, John, for booking us on our cruise and answering any questions I had. No problem. I hope you guys have a wonderful time in Bermuda. That's awesome. All right, so let's do our little giveaways here. Let's do coffee first. Let me pull up the screen here. Here we go. We even did our little Great Stirrup Cay here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So let's do coffee.
Ooh. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Great Stirrup Cay upside down.
Yep. Brian S., congratulations. If you win anything, just email me. My email is right on the screen there, jp@bitesize.cruises. Send me your address, and we will send them. And now we're going to give away a T-shirt. Ash, there you go. All right. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Isla, thank you so much for coming. This was awesome.
No, of course.
I really appreciate it.
Actually, can we spin the wheel one more time?
Yeah.
Can we give something away too?
Yeah. What do you want to give away?
Well, okay. I'm going to give 2 things away. So the first one is going to be $300 towards their next NCL cruise, which is going to be a cruise first certificate.
All right, I love that. Let's do that. So $300 cruise first certificate. Here we go. This is awesome.
Oh my God, I'm getting dizzy again. Oh.
Oh, look at that. That couldn't have been better. Hold on, I'm taking notes.
And then I'm going to give away 2 nights of extra specialty dining for guests 1 and 2 for their next cruise on NCL.
Yeah, on NCL, not on road. All right, let's give away some specialty dining. All right, Aaron, congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats.
Isla, thank you so much for that. That's amazing.
No, of course. No, thank you. It's been fun being here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. Now we have to put pressure on all the other cruise reps that don't give anything away. So, thank you guys very much. Have a great week. There will be tons of Prima content this week. All the food is coming out. The ship tour will be out, all that stuff. And then we'll be live Sunday morning for Cruise News. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.